At the dawn of civilization in the territory of modern Israel, stories were born that remain hidden from the rest of the world. Here, letters to God travel through the ether seeking divine attention. Albert Einstein would have been responsible for the fate of this earth for a little while. The secrets of the nature of the universe remain encoded in the ancient myths of the unfinished corner of creation and the darkness before the creation of the world. And the giant Og raises his mighty hand against the people of Israel, in the throes of the struggle between good and evil. These rare chapters of Israel's history hold within them an unexplored world of knowledge and mystery. In this world of the unknown, each story reveals a new aspect of Israel's rich culture and historical heritage. Prepare yourself for a journey through the unknown chapters of this land's history, where every word leads you on a path to discovering amazing and previously untold truths that transform our understanding of the past and open new perspectives for the future. Ancient Dog Cemetery. In the ancient lands of Israel, archaeologists discover a mysterious cemetery that will change our understanding of the relationship between man and animals in ancient times. It is the largest known dog cemetery of the ancient world. The discovery is located near the archaeological site of Tel El-Harar, famous for its ancient ruins. The archaeological team led by Dr. J.R. Hofstein unearthed over 1,500 dog skeletons dating from the 5th through the 4th centuries BC. This is a unique discovery that enables us to understand more about the rituals and beliefs of ancient societies, Dr. Hofstein commented. Analysis of the skeletons reveal the dogs were well cared for and probably played an important role in the community. Many of them have traces of illnesses that have been treated, pointing to care and attention on the part of the people. Professor Miriam Tallman, an expert in archaeozoology, knows, "We see a very special relationship between humans and these animals. There is evidence of ritual burials that took place with great solemnity." The next step in the study of the cemetery is the analysis of artifacts found in the area, as well as the examination of the genetic material of the dogs to determine their origins, relationship to other canine populations of the ancient world. This discovery not only reveals details about life in ancient Israel, but also highlights the enduring relationship between man and dog that continues today, concluded Professor Tallman. The proposal to Albert Einstein. In the early 1950s, the newly created state of Israel was looking for a president, a leader to guide it through the challenges ahead. The nation's eyes turned to one of the greatest minds of the time, Albert Einstein. The world-renowned scientist was offered the presidency of Israel in 1952, but such an offer was not what he expected. Dr. Einstein was a man of science, a scientist who dedicated his life to understanding the mysteries of the universe. The invitation to the post finds him in his quiet house in Princeton, New Jersey, and awakens a wave of reflection in him. This offer comes at a time of great need for stability and leadership for the young country, said historian Dr. Lee Rosenberg. But Einstein was a scientist, not a politician. He is in a world of formulas and theories, not the world of political maneuvering. Einstein replies with a letter of thanks, expressing his appreciation for the offer, but also has reluctant to take on the role. He explains that he has neither the experience nor the inclination for political activities, and that he lacks the sense of leadership required of a president. Einstein was a man of principles who followed his own path regardless of external circumstances, commented the science decision professor Michael Shadner, a physicist and historian of science. Einstein's response came as no surprise to the public. His modesty and dedication to science are well known. Despite his refusal, respect for him grows even greater as he goes down in history as one of the world's greatest minds who was invited to become president of Israel, but chose to remain true to his scientific principles and research. The letters to God. In the eternal city of Jerusalem, amidst ancient stones and centuries of tradition, an extraordinary phenomenon continues to weave the link between man and the unseen. Every year, over 1,000 letters arrive in this city, addressed not to anyone, but to God Himself. This is not just a random whim of the modern world, but a tradition that has roots in the centuries. People send their pleas, hopes, and blessings to heaven, seeking answers to their questions and comfort in their times of need. The Jerusalem Post Office employees are accustomed to this annual phenomenon and have created a special box where they collect these heavenly messages. Each letter is reserved with respect, even though the addressee is beyond the reach of the earthly. It is a testament to the people's tireless faith and hope, commented Dr. Samuel Abrams, a sociologist and researcher of religious practices. These letters are silent testimonies to the human quest for the supernatural, for the invisible connection between earth and heaven. Jerusalem is a city rich in history and spiritual heritage. It is sacred to the three great Abrahamic religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, and is considered the place where heaven touches earth. This unique atmosphere gives special significance to the letters addressed to God. Letters to God are a bridge between the human and the divine, reflects Professor Rahil Levi, theologian. They are an expression of the human need for spiritual interaction, for seeking answers in the higher reality. In the age of technological progress and global communication, the tradition of writing letters to God lives on in the hearts of many. It reflects the eternal human quest to understand and communicate with the unseen, to discover greater truth that leads us through the darkness of existence to the light of hope and faith. Developments in mobile phone technology. Back in 1973, in the quiet rooms of Motorola's Research Center in Israel, a group of engineers were hard at work on a project that would change the world forever. They were about to develop the first prototype mobile phone, a technology that would lay the foundations for the modern smartphones we use every day today. The team leader, Dr. Martin Cooper, is a man with a vision. He sees a future where communication is limitless, free from TV antennas and phone wires. With the mobile phone, he opens the door to a new era, an era of infinite possibilities and freedom of communication. Motorola's Research Center in Israel is where the vision is beginning to become a reality. After months of hard work and innovation, the first prototype mobile phone has been created. It was large and awkward by today's standards, but it was the start of a revolution in communications. Professor, this discovery not only changes the way we communicate, but it also the way we live. It creates the foundation for a new society, connected in ways we couldn't even imagine before. With the creation of the first mobile phone, Motorola engineers are ushering in a technological era that will take us into the world of smartphones, social networking, and the endless possibilities of communication tucked away in our pockets. When we look at Israel's folkloric heritage, it is enriched with various myths and legends that reflect the culture and historical characteristics of the region. Their color and identity are unparalleled, so different from anything we know and yet uniquely interesting. Here are some stunning examples from the traditions and mythology of Israel. The unfinished corner of creation. In ancient times, when the creation of the world was still a work in progress, God worked hard to shape all its angles. However, there came a time when He stopped His work in the northern corner of the world. According to myth, God said, "Whoever declares himself to be God, let him come and finish this corner, and then all will know that he is truly God." This phrase has been passed down through the ages and has stirred the hearts and minds of people in search of spiritual knowledge. The northern corner of the world was where the evil forces gathered and made their home. The earthquakes, demons, and all the evil spirits that have harmed people throughout the ages were born in this unbuilt corner of creation. This place was a source of calamity, fear, and uncertainty for the people of the earth. Analysis of ancient texts and philosophers reflect on this myth and search for the hidden meaning behind the words of God. They believed that this was God's way of challenging humanity to strive for perfection, seek knowledge, and fight evil in the world. Some versions of the myth mention the idea that God left his corner unbuilt so that mankind could just finish the creation. This was God's way of providing an opportunity for people to show their abilities, express their creativity, and face the challenges of life. The unfinished corner of creation is not just a myth, but a symbol of the human quest for knowledge and the ability to fight against evil in the world. The darkness before the creation of the world. At the beginning of time, before light banished darkness and revealed the diversity of the world, there was only infinite, all-consuming darkness. This ancient myth from the Jewish tradition reveals a great mystery: what happened to this premortal darkness after God created the world. Exploring this myth leads us into the heart of ancient texts that take us back in time to the period when the ancient Hebrews began to ask themselves this question. According to the myth, darkness was sealed and hidden in the seventh chamber of Gehenna, the place where the wicked were sent after their death. Dr. Rachel Levin, an expert in ancient religious texts, commented, "This myth is an ingenious attempt by the ancient Jews to explain the unexplainable. The darkness that existed before creation is a metaphor for the chaos and the unknown that preceded the order and harmony of the created world." Archaeological excavations in the ancient city of Hebron are revealing evidence of the deep roots of this myth. Texts carved in stone have been found telling of the darkness that swallowed everything before God introduced light into the world. Professor, these texts are a phenomenal window into ancient Jewish cosmology. They reveal the ancients' view of the beginning of the world and the eternal opposition between light and darkness. According to the experts, this myth not only reveals ancient views of the beginning of the world, but also establishes the basis of the understanding of good and evil in Jewish mythology. This myth from Jewish tradition is a wonderful example of how ancients explain the unknown, and how even today it continues to provoke our curiosity and quest to understand the great mysteries of our lives and existence. Og, the giant. In the distant past, when the earth was covered by waters and human existence was threatened by the biblical flood, a giant named Og appeared on the horizon of human history. Og, the king of Bashan, was an extraordinary giant whose legend comes to life in the narratives of ancient texts. Dr. Elisha ben Abram, an expert in biblical archaeology, commented, "His figure symbolizes the power and dangers that lurked in the ancient world. According to the myth, Og pledged allegiance to Noah and asked for refuge aboard the ark in order to survive the flood that was coming. Noah, understanding the danger of the giant, posed but also wanted to show mercy, allowed Og to board the ark. After surviving the flood, however, Og became Israel's great enemy. According to legend, he even tried to destroy Israel by uprooting a mountain with the intention of throwing it on the nation. But God sent rock-eating ants that made a hole in the rock on which he stood, causing Og's fall and subsequent death under the weight of the mountain. Professor, the myth of Og and Noah reveals moral lessons and profound truths about human nature and the struggle between good and evil. Archaeological discoveries in the Bashan area reveal traces of the struggles and the giant creatures that seem to have been part of the real ancient world. The discoveries raise questions about the true nature of Og and its place in Israel's history. This myth continues to excite scholars and challenges our imaginations, offering us a glimpse into a mythical and dangerous ancient world where giants and humans struggled for survival against the forces of nature and fate. If you like this video, support us by subscribing to the channel.